Hello, this is Bill Steffen. Thanks for joining me. Happy Friday, and hope you have yourself a great weekend. Let's take a look right now at an interesting map. This is going to show you the snow on the ground for Friday, early Friday morning here, and nothing here in lower Michigan. But look up past Lake Superior, and you can see the snow starting to stick to the ground a little bit up there north of Lake Superior. So it's a sign of things to come. I put a little quotation there from the Grand Rapids National Weather Service, one of their forecasts. This is followed by an upper trough axis and strong cold advection by the end of next week, not this week, but next week, with cold rain and snow showers possible. And while nothing like that would stick to the ground or anything like that, I'm kind of looking for our first real snowflakes to come about the second week in November. So you can kind of see how close I come with that. But snow is gathering up at Northway, Alaska. The temperatures stay below freezing and they have 5 inches of snow on the ground. All right, let's take a look at some high temperatures here from Thursday. Second day in a row, Mount Pleasant was the warmest. Northwest wind gives them a degree or two of warming from downslope warming and compressing the air down as it comes off the higher elevations up around Cadillac. And 51, the high in Grand Rapids and Ionia. We had 50 in Coldwater and Fremont, 49 Holland, both at the airport and the beach. Not very often you see that the airport and the beach temperature the same. We had temperatures a bit cooler at Kalamazoo and Battle Creek, and Ironwood is the past 3 days. They've had high temperatures of 45, 44, and 40. So it's been kind of cool up there in the UP. They are past peak color. We're getting pretty close to peak color here. And speaking of colors, look at this rainbow picture from Michael Walters that was taken on 131 up near Big Rapids here Thursday morning. All right, our sunrise and sunset time for today. We continue to lose daylight, and I want to point out our sunrise at 8:07. That's going to move to about 8:20 here before we have the time change first weekend in November. So keep in mind, it's kind of dark when the kids are out there getting ready for school, waiting for the school bus, and keep an eye out for them. Sunset time is now 6:45 o'clock, and solar noon, that's when the sun is highest in the sky. Not at 12 o'clock, as you might expect. It is at 1:26. Two reasons for that. One is the fact that we moved the clock ahead an hour for daylight saving time, and also the second thing is that we live at the western end of a time zone. Average high and low temperature for today, 57 and 40. So while temperatures are cool in the 50s, that's what it's supposed to be like here this time of year. Nice picture there from the South Haven Channel. And this is the first day I looked through about 24 or 30 different pictures from timed out, and I did not see any boats going in and out of the channels. That's the first time for that. Record high 80 in 1963, and the record low 24 in 1969. Our lake forecast calls for waves to be calming down a little bit today. Winds to be out of the northwest 10 to 15 knots. Waves were up as high as 8.9 feet at the Port Sheldon buoy Thursday morning, but by Thursday evening, they were down to about 3.5 feet. And I think much of the day tomorrow, they'll be closer to 2 feet. And that's a very interesting picture. That's from Michigan City, from the Glurl station there on the lighthouse. Now, you're looking due west, and if you look to the left, you can actually see the buildings from Chicago, even though they're 40 miles away. And you're not seeing the buildings right down at ground level because the Earth is round. It's a circle, and gravity holds us down to the Earth. But the buildings do show up here, and you're looking at about the middle and the top of the skyscrapers there in Chicago. So I thought that was an interesting picture to share. All right. Let's take a look right now at our headlines. There'll be a chance for an isolated sprinkle today. Best bet for that would be near Lake Michigan, but most all of the day will be dry, and many of you won't see any raindrops at all. I think I can get away with partly sunny. It may be mostly cloudy at times, especially as you move north toward Cadillac and Houghton Lake. But dry weekend coming up here. Should be a pretty nice Saturday and Sunday. Good weather for football games here on Saturday. Cool pattern. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 50s at best here during the afternoon, with readings in the 30s at night. We got a message coming up right now from Complete Care Concierge, and I'll be back with our forecast.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
Well, here's the storm reports map. Take a look right around Oklahoma City. There was one big thunderstorm there that produced a lot of hail. Most of the hail reports were associated with that thunderstorm as it moved across county lines there. 20 severe weather reports, 19 of them were hail, only one was wind, and they had 3-inch diameter hail at Stella, Oklahoma. That's certainly enough to smash some car windshields. But other than that, really not much going on across the United States. There will be severe weather today, though. The weather map for this Friday calls for severe weather to occur in parts of the South. And in fact, if we go to the severe weather map, we'll be able to show you that the state that's most vulnerable to that would be Texas. The Texas area seeing heavy thunderstorms here during the daytime hours, and some of them could contain some hail and some strong winds across the area here. So let's take a look at that map here. This is the severe weather threat here for Friday. Slight risk, that's the level 2, covers a good portion of Texas, and then the green is the marginal risk, or level 1. That's about the only place where there will be thunderstorms, except maybe for that little tip of Florida that they've got, Miami down to Key Largo or so. I guess a thunder shower could back in there. But if you're a storm chaser today, you want to be down in the state of Texas. And then looking ahead at the severe weather outlook area for Saturday, that area shifts east toward Houston, Beaumont, Port Arthur, Lake Charles, Louisiana. Maybe Corpus Christi gets in on a heavy thunderstorm. And that system will track off toward the east, staying below the state of Michigan and the Great Lakes, of course. All right, taking a look at the 66-hour rainfall total, and wow, look at the rain that's going to fall from Kansas on down to Texas and Louisiana. That is a huge area that over a 3-day period is expected to get 2 to 4 inches of rain. Second area of heavy rain is along the coastline from California up through Oregon and Seattle. We got some rainy days coming up for Seattle, Portland, Eureka, California. The very tall mountains, like the top of Mount Rainier, should be seeing some snow. I'll see if I can grab a picture of that to show you over the weekend. There will be a little bit of rain in the Great Lakes here, and this is kind of interesting. If you take a look, the rain is still downwind from the Great Lakes, so this is mainly lake effect rain. As the air comes over Lake Superior, it picks up moisture and produces some rain there around the Marquette area. And then it crosses Lake Michigan, picks up even more moisture, and produces that band of rain, which is just east of Traverse City. Mansalona, Kalkaska could be seeing kind of a rainy Friday up there. I think we get a few sprinkles of rain here, but nothing more than just sprinkles and very light showers, and that's confined to areas that are west of US 131. But you can see some pretty significant rain downwind from Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. They ought to put Lake Huron in here too. Maybe at some point in time they will expand and bring Canada into this graphic here. All right, let's take a look at zoomed in a little bit. You can see where some of the heaviest rain has fallen, and you can see that's off to the west and southwest of Grand Rapids. Some places down toward Schoolcraft and Parchment have had 4 to 5 inches of rain within the past 10 or 14 days or so. So that's quite a bit. All right, we'll move on and take a look right now at the tropics. We have Melissa, and it's down at the bottom of the graphic right there. This could be a very significant storm, and the greatest threat is this storm is very slow moving. So as it continues to drift off toward the northwest, heavy rain is going to fall in Jamaica, certainly parts of eastern Cuba, and parts of Haiti and the Dominican Republic could be seeing some heavy rains as well. But that's the big thing. And then, of course, there could be some strong winds with this as well. Let's take a look at the map of the path of Melissa. And as you can see, it's not moving hardly at all. S means tropical storm, H means hurricane, M means major hurricane. And if that comes up to the west coast or the west edge of Jamaica there, and that strong south wind pushes up against the hills and mountains of Jamaica, they could see incredible amounts of rain and some local flooding. Now this is only a tropical storm right now. Tropical storm warnings are in effect for southwest Haiti and for Jamaica. And you can see the times there. By 2 p.m. Tuesday, it still hasn't moved more than a few hundred miles. So we'll have to. I still think this thing is going to miss the United States. It'll get up to Cuba perhaps, and then trend northeast, going through the Bahamas and out to sea, out to the middle of the ocean. All right, we go to the west and west of here to the eastern Pacific Ocean, and we're up now from 70% to 80%. That X right there will become Hurricane Sonia. It will likely become a tropical storm and then maybe a minimal hurricane before it weakens again as it encounters some cool water. Main thing about Sonia will be that it will be well away from the Mexican coast and no threat to any land. Things have eased back in the western Pacific Ocean too. The western Pacific shows that we had a couple of tropical storms there. And we take a look at the map of the western Pacific, you'd be able to see that we have just one little tiny storm there, Chenji, and that is northeast of Madagascar. And there's a nice bright white blob there where there's convection going on, thunderstorms, but it's pretty small, and this is forecast to weaken as it gradually slides off toward the east, toward Dar es Salaam. And the rest of the Western Pacific, nothing of consequence going on. All right, on we go to today's forecast. I think we can inch up to 53 today and 38, the low temperature during the early morning. There's about a 20% chance of a shower, and I would delineate that further by saying it's 10% over by US 127, Mount Pleasant, Lansing, Jackson, and probably 30% as you get west of Grand Rapids in the lakeshore counties. So, and if you see one, just a few hundredths of an inch of rain or even trace amounts would be all you would see. Humidity it dips to 60% in the afternoon. Winds will be northwest at 5 to 15 miles an hour. We'll look at some high temperatures across the area today. If you're over by Lake Michigan, temperatures will be pretty similar. Look for low 50s in Wisconsin, out over the lake, and in inland areas. Cooler up toward Houghton Lake, and where they may see clouds and some scattered showers there. And Gaylord with just 45 for a high temperature, and there'll be 40s throughout the UP, that blue color indicating some 40s there. So a pretty cool day across West Michigan. And then for Saturday, the temperatures don't change very much. We're pretty much the same on the Saturday map with readings in the low 40s, maybe a couple of upper 40s, but low 50s would be the rule. These temperatures here might be a degree or two too cool, depending on cloud cover in your area, and only low to mid 40s up across upper Michigan. So cool couple of days coming up. Sunday's temperatures should be fairly similar. And the 5-day forecast looks like this. We'll be seeing generally partly sunny skies through the period. If we get any clearing at night, any of these nights we could pick up some frost, but that's probably most likely here on Saturday in areas away from the lake. Temperatures pretty much in the mid-50s, don't change very much. Nothing much is moving across the weather map. We've got areas that are getting wet, like down where the hurricane is, are going to stay wet, and areas that are dry are going to pretty much stay dry here through the period. We'll call it, like I said, partly sunny through the period. The latest 8 to 14 day outlook, temperature-wise, has warm temperatures in the west and cool temperatures in the east, where there'll be some clouds and a few showers and thunder showers to deal with, but generally near normal temperatures, which would be low to mid 50s for us for the first week of November. And then in terms of rainfall, the precipitation map indicates that we'll probably be near normal in West Michigan here as well, and that would be a good thing. Texas gets a chance to dry out, and New Mexico it stays wet in the Pacific Northwest. Florida gets a chance to dry out after Halloween, and it will be fairly wet in New England and New York. So nothing major happening. We're not seeing any big gales of November or anything like that around here. Some interesting pictures that came into us here from Matt Rogers, the annual Glow Show. Now, I had to look up what the Glow Show is. That is a group of high school bands that get together. And what they do is they put lights on the tubas and the instruments and have a beautiful glow concert. And 6 schools involved here: Shelby, Montague, Whitehall, Mona Shores, and Hesperia. And I'm adding them up as I go. And that's only 5. But maybe there was a 6th one. I don't know. The annual Glow Show featuring kids from Muskegon County, Hesperia area, Newaygo County, and Oceana County, Shelby area. I've always liked the bands. I really kind of miss sometimes when the bands aren't available to do their thing. I live in Alpine Township, and once in a very great while, I can actually hear the bands playing from Kennewa Hills, and it's kind of nice to listen. All right, let's see what else we got here. Thanks, Matt, for that. From daughter number 3, today we took a day trip by ferry to this Baltic state. Well, let's see, that narrows it down. There's only 3 of them. There's Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania. So let's go on. It borders Russia. All 3 of them do, I believe. And there's Kaliningrad, which is actually a Russian city, which is all by itself a little island there to the south of the Baltic states. Okay, this country borders Russia to the east and Latvia to the south. It starts with an E, and that narrows it down. If you're thinking of Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, there's only one of those countries that begins with the letter E. The county gained its independence in 1991 from the old Soviet Union. And it's a beautiful country with a lot of old buildings, as you can see there. This is in probably, I don't know if they are in Tallinn. I think that's the capital of Estonia, if I remember right. That's with 2 L's and 2 N's. And the weather in Estonia is very similar to what it is in Michigan here. Average high temperatures are around 30 in January. And they don't get to 100 or above. I think the hottest temperature they've ever had in Tallinn is 94. But a typical day in Tallinn during the summer has temperatures only in the low 70s because the winds are coming in off the water there, off the Baltic Sea. But they've got some beautiful old buildings there, I know. All right, let's go on to the next one, see if there's more pictures. There's another one, and that looks neat. Looks like they got some awnings, tents set up there. They do get showers just like we get. They have a sea to the west of them. We have Lake Michigan to the west of us. So again, pretty similar. They get quite a few days with those low gray stratus clouds. We call that the status quo instead of the status quo. And interesting place to be. Let's see if we have another picture there from Estonia. Yes, we do. That's very colorful, isn't it? Now you can see the leaves are falling off, but they're about the same is where we are. They seem to have modern cars there. I know Estonia has had fairly good governance, and I know the per capita family income there is fairly high. Considering they were part of Russia. I think Estonia, the average per family capita income is in the low 50s, maybe. So that's interesting, but interesting place to be. That would be a place to go hiking and explore. All right, let's see what else we have. Do we have any more from Estonia? No, we're going to Randy Mulder, who is at Tunnel Park. He has gone through the tunnel this time. And this is a picture taken when we had a sunny day. And as you can see, the sun's sparkling off the water there. Dune grass holds the dunes together, so it's nice to see some of that there, and of course some of the low shrubbery there as well. It's a really neat place to be. If you've never been to Tunnel Park, you can park there and go on in through the tunnel and get out to the beach at Lake Michigan. Thanks, Randy. And up next, let's see if we have a picture from one of the Johns. We do, John Kimball, and he got a picture of a rainbow. This is looking north toward Nubbs Knob. which is up in northern lower Michigan. You can see the beautiful water there below the lakes. But an interesting day. When you get a day that's mostly cloudy like this with just some breaks in the clouds, you can get to see a rainbow, but they don't last very long. So while you're fiddling with your phone to get a picture, it might go away. But certainly there to enjoy. And we did get some rainbow pictures in. We'll have to share one or more of those. We had the one there from Michael Walters. Thank him for that. All right, thank you, John. And from John Meppelink from a small town in Indiana. That's interesting. Yeah, he doesn't tell us what town it is, though it looks like the sign there is off to the side. But we know this is a small town in Indiana. They love their children in Indiana. They really do. And you can see here the leaves are for the most part off the tree. It looks like there's one pine tree over there, but more of the leaves off the tree than on. So that's interesting. It's interesting how the fall color change occurs at roughly the same time over much of the eastern U.S. You get days with frost down in Tennessee and North Carolina, and that starts the trees to changing, and the daylight's getting shorter, and you find that they may gain an extra week or so, 10 days maybe, but that would be about it. Thanks, John. And a salute to all of you Hoosiers. By the way, have you noticed the Indiana football team is number 2? First time it's ever been ranked that high. That's really amazing. I don't know who do they play on Saturday. I thought they had a pretty good game there, but they are 7-0. They beat Oregon, and so I think. Was it Ohio State? I think is playing my alma mater of Wisconsin, and I think Wisconsin is a 32-point underdog. So I'm not expecting much. From John Doherty, Benzie County, beautiful picture here. We've got some sunlight, it looks like, on the trees right here with the fall color. And in the distance, of course, when you have the sunlight behind you shining, that makes that accentuates the dark color under some of these showers here. But you can see one of the showers kind of moving into the area there. But neat picture. Thank you, John, for that. And we have another one. We have a trio of Johns who send us pictures here, and we appreciate this one here. Look at the bird. We got a bird off to the side there in mid-flight. That looks like a gull, if I'm not mistaken, and that would be on the beach in the Muskegon, Grand Haven area where John is. Beautiful day. You can see there are some breaks in the clouds there. There were more showers today in inland areas than there were out over the lake. So as the wind comes on land, the friction slows it down a little bit, and the sun heats up the air just a little bit over the land as opposed to the water. So we tended to have a few more showers over the land areas than over the water. And that may be the case today, but I said most of the showers will be just very isolated sprinkles. Thanks, John, for that. I think that's all we got for you today. And once again, the forecast calls for temperatures to be on the cool side. Readings in the low 50s during the day, and we do have a chance for a sprinkle, but Friday night football games, Saturday football games should be dry. Not much change in temperature over the next 5 days. Again, your comments, your pictures, or whatever on Bill's show, send them to bill@billsteffen.com. Thanks so much for staying with us till the end. Have yourself a great day.